What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. We are still dragging ass, actually. We're not doing a whole lot, are we? We've gone up a little bit, we've gone down a little bit, we've gone up, we've gone down, we've just moved sideways, slightly to the upside. Overall, though, we're still in this down range. What I want to talk about is not something that I normally do talk about. This video is going to be a little bit different, so for those of you who are looking for a little switch up in the usual day-to-day stuff that I present, I've got that for you today. You know, I normally, if between these two RSIs, I normally focus on the short-term RSI, and I feel like that's fair because this develops a lot quicker. But I want to go over the long-term RSI because I think we are getting to a very key point on the daily. This long-term RSI, by the way, is the 123 RSI. It's a very long-term RSI. I find significance across this in multiple charts. You can even see here the 123 MA. It's this purple line here. We are finding support on it here. Found resistance on it back here. Support on it here. Resistance. You know, like it's not always right. You have moments of disrespect. But you know, I like to compare it I like to compare both of them together, where you have price above the purple line and then below the 50. You know, the RSI is below the 50 here. That would have been a great time to sell. That actually would have been, out of this whole range, the best time to sell. And then same thing over here. You know, you're below the 50, but you're above the purple line. The better time to sell would have been up in this area. But it kind of was a bit of a reverse, right? Because here's the best time to buy, and you know, sometimes, again, it's not always accurate. It's not 100%, but I think it is something to kind of take into consideration. I like to throw it in my wheelhouse. But really, what I want to do is I want to grab this. I'm going to grab it with my mouse. I'm going to move it up and boom, put it on the price action itself. You can see over here we have the readings for the long-term RSI. I can move it like this if I want to, whatever, and then this over here is the movement for the price. We're going to go, whoa, did you guys lose me? I think I still got you. Still got you, okay. We're going to go way back, way back. All the way back, in fact, because I want to get all the historical data. And if you can see, the RSI and this white line together are fixed. The price can move through it, or, you know, I can move, if I want to, I can move this stuff through it and keep the price fixed. But the white line will be fixed to the 50 on the RSI, and I actually want to fix that. Let's go 50 on the dot. I mean, it's close enough, but let's just do that so as not to confuse anybody. So looking at this thing, you can see here, right? We're going to the reason why we're paying attention to the 50 area is because I think price has significance around that throughout its whole history. And you can see here a little bit of a bounce right here, just a little bit, but we did have a pretty, I mean, it doesn't look that significant, but you did have a low that presented an overall price range from bottom to top. It's like your first interaction with the 50 on the 123. That was a 42% move right there, right? And then you broke through it, and you know, that was your low, whatever. There's nothing really here that's, I mean, maybe we can put another line there. I don't know if I've got it. I wonder if I can put it on the RSI like that. Will it move? It'll move with the price, so I don't know if I can do that, unfortunately. I don't know how I would do that. Maybe if I click on the RSI and then I do this, maybe. Nope, it still moves. So I don't know how to get another line down there, but you know, maybe this, what would that be? That would be around like 48.66. Maybe that's an area to watch too. But we're going to keep our eyes on the 50 here. You can see here we went up. We found a local low in this overall move down right at the 50 area as well, and then we moved up, and then we went lower. Whatever. Here we found resistance on the 50. Or, you know, even here we found a local low as well, just a little bit of a low, and we came up. We found resistance on it here. This was the top on this overall move to the downside. Come all the way through, find the next one, the next bit that we find significance. Kind of near it here, but not, I don't know, 49.64 on 50. That's kind of close, but not close enough. Not on the long-term RSI. Here we are, resistance, and you can see here these were both the two tops of this overall sideways range, moving down. Resistance here, this was the top of this next part, this next phase here, the top went down. You got a little bit of a rejection here, you moved sideways, then you moved up, whatever, and you moved through the 50. That was your sign that you actually were going higher, right? Found support on it right here, price went up a little bit. Support here as well, and that was a local low in this relative like kind of area. And we can see here, again, I would count this as a bounce. I guess maybe those other two were bounces, but you can see here a low of this overall area with a nice move up as well. A little bit of a bounce right there. Continuation, continue to move up. I don't know, a little bit of disrespect over here. It's not always perfect, but here you go. You got a rejection in this area as well, a top for this overall formation right before we had our nice move to the upside. And we broke straight through the 50 this time, and that took us, I mean, that took us really high on the RSI. If it'll let me move it. It won't let me move it. Let's see. On the RSI, that was all the way up like 65, 64.5 on the long-term RSI. Now, what I'm getting to, what I've been waiting to get to, what I've been trying to get to is that if we're looking at the RSI now, not the price, but the RSI, you can see we are just above the 50. And overall, right now, we are with the price in a downtrend. And I'm going to blow this price up a little bit now. You know, in comparison, they're pretty identical. If I overlay them on top of each other, you can see how very symmetrical they are. And what I would expect personally, and what I am expecting, is price be damned. You know, wherever the price goes, who knows? I do think that it'll go between about 150 and 135, potentially even down to 120. But what I do believe is going to happen is we're going to find significant support. We're going to find an area of support on the RSI that's right at the 50, and we're probably going to see a move. Like when I say right at it, I mean like literally right at it, and then that's not even close enough, man. We got to go like right at it. Come on, a little bit further. And then, oh, there's a little space there. But you know what I'm trying to say. I do think that we're going to get a bounce off of this area. And whenever we see that on a daily, I think that will be the indication that we have found our low for this overall range coming down. So wherever that puts us for the price, I don't know where that's going to put us. You know, I'm good at estimating with the short-term RSI, but the long-term not so much. It will take us below this purple line. And if you remember what I was saying in the beginning of the video, is that if you're below the purple line, or if you're above the purple line but you're below the 50 on the RSI, that's a good time to sell. You can see it here. You're below the 50, above the purple line, good time to sell. Above the 50, or above the purple line, below the 50, good time to sell. Now we're at the reverse effect where we are above the 50 on the RSI and we are potentially going to go below the purple line, which would be a good area to buy. And in fact, I would say that the best time to buy is going to be specifically when we bounce right off of this 50. So keep in mind that whenever we get down to whatever the low is in this price, we can have a wick that goes lower and then comes back up and closes. So this RSI could actually break below the 50 for the day, for the like couple hours or like whatever through the day, and then by the end of the day come back up and close above it, close right at it, as I've been calling for in this video. That would be kind of my expectation. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe, you know, throughout the day it just holds its area right there on the RSI. It doesn't actually go below. We don't have price that takes it lower than that. Maybe that's what happens. Who knows? But I would expect that as we get down here, one way or another, we're going to be close, if not spot on, with our low. So this is something that I really want to pay attention to in the coming weeks, in the coming days. I really want to, you know, keep this long-term RSI under the radar, or on the radar, not under the radar, on it. We're going to put it on the radar, on top of it, because where this goes, I believe, will be the area that we find our bottom in price. And let's just see here. From low to top, I wonder. Nope, it's at the 786 on this relative fib for the RSI. It's at 786. Maybe that is foretelling that the price itself we will see go to its 786, maybe, which would be at 120. Maybe not. I don't know. Again, we could see a move where, and I'm going to get rid of the fib now, we could see a move where the price goes down to 120. It could go down to 120 in a day, and then in that same day come back up and close above 135, 140, and that could be just enough to keep the long-term RSI at its like 50 area. I can't draw it because it's like overlaying the price, but yeah, I feel like I've said the same thing over and over again enough to kind of instill it. I hope it wasn't too confusing having the RSI over the price. I just felt like this was the easiest way to kind of show, you know, having that presented with the 50, that we could go that low. You know, maybe, let's see here, because that is like right at the 50, this local top area here in the RSI. You can see it. If you want to play a drinking game, play this video back, and every time I say RSI, make sure you have some friends, because this would be bad if you're by yourself. But anytime I say RSI, you got to drink. RSI. Anyways, that's basically all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. If you don't drink, then smoke or clap if you're sober. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.